start the section 8 examinations. So under this, first one is administration and grading. Administration means who is conducting the examination. So for example, now after 1 month or maybe this month you are taking your ASNT and detail of the basic exam. So who is conducting? ASNT is conducting, because you paid the examination fees to them, and they are conducting the examination through PSMU test center. So here when you are conducting the examination, mostly related with in-house. So this is your employer based certification program. So your company, your boss is arranging all these examinations. So on behalf of your company, someone will assist, like your level 3 or maybe your HR or maybe your document controller or maybe your manager. So someone will conduct the examination. So that is what we call as administration part. Grading means evaluation. So for example, if the question paper they given for 40 questions, so out of 40, if you got 36, you got 90 percentage. If you get only 20 out of 40 is nothing but 50 percentage. So something like evaluation, so checking with the master copy who will do. So that is what the grading part. But nowadays when we conduct an examination, very easy, like we use online softwares. Even you seen, right, our practice papers also, if you practice immediately you will get the score report. So I'm not doing anything manually, so automatically you are getting report. Even just now I shown the score report. So when you took the actual examination, so when you submit, immediately the report will get out. So like they clearly show if you meet the requirement, so then they will show pass result, otherwise they'll show negative result, fail. So the first one is who is conducting these examinations. In order to conduct these examination, first of all you need to prepare the question paper. So the question paper contains questions, whether those questions are valid or not. For example, if you are going for a UT level 2 exam, but they given PT questions, then you will laugh at him, right? So my paper is UT, so I must have UT related questions. For example, you went for UT level 2, so angle beam testing, so they need to ask calculations related with angle beam, and they should ask only like Snell's law or angle of refraction, beam spread, so related things only they need to ask. But surprisingly, you've seen all questions related with the PUT and TOFD. So the trainer didn't teach anything about TOFD and POET, and you are not going to do POET and TOFD, but your question paper fully with POT questions, definitely you will fail. So that's why what they're trying to say here, all qualification examination questions shall be approved by the NDT level 3 responsible for that applicable method. For example, you are going to take UT level 2 exam, so that question papers, all those questions inside shall be approved by the UT level 3. Why? Because he knows whether that question is relevant or irrelevant. So he will evaluate, he will check, because he is a subject matter expert, he already a UT level 3. So he know the difficulty level also. Sometimes maybe you are sitting for UT level 2 exam, the questions very challenging and very tough questions. Even level 3 also cannot answer. Then what happens? You will definitely get failed, because very tough questions, not required for this exam, but that level 3 want to make you fail. So he will put a very tough questions inside. So that's why what they're trying to say here, any qualification examination question, whether level 1 paper, level 2 paper or level 3 paper, so that questions shall be approved by the level 3 candidate responsible in that method. Why they saying responsible? Why must be UT level 3? For example, I am RT level 3. Okay, you ask me to conduct eddy current level 2 testing. So I don't know even ABCD of eddy current testing. How I can prepare the question paper? Or if someone prepare the paper, if they given to me, so I'll say I don't know anything about eddy current testing. So I'm not in a position to review that question paper, because I don't know anything. Even I'm not a eddy current level 2 also. So that's why what they're trying to say here, if you preparing any paper, any question, so that particular method level 3 need to be reviewed. So it's a mandatory requirement. That's why they mentioned shall. Shall means must be approved by the NDT level 3. And also every question you need to refer to some books. You should not give like some questions based on your personal experience. So you have something in your mind, based on that if you prepare the question, not acceptable. So the question should be relevant to your course contents, so it is based on your curriculum. Same like your academic programs, when you took your master's or bachelor degree, so the question, examination question should be from your syllabus, it should not be from outside. So if you want to have an idea of the sample example questions, you can refer to appendix E, especially when you are dealing with level 1 and level 2 general papers. So if you are dealing with a general exam, so most of the time what we do, we will give 40 multiple choice questions. So these questions, if I want to have some idea, at least I need some sample questions. From where I will get? So you will get from appendix E. So they used to ask one question in the examination. So if you are conducting a general examination for level 2 candidate, so if you need a sample questions, from where you will get that information. So if you open SNTC1 appendix A, so you will get some sample example questions for level 1, and also they will give sample questions for level 2. So 3 questions for level 1 they given, and 3 more example questions they given for level 2. You just need to use them as a sample. Don't copy and paste those questions in the exam, because if the technician come to know, so they will refer to the book and they know the answer, they can easily pass. So that's why they clearly mention these questions are verbatim, not be used, meaning don't copy and paste these questions for your examinations. Even if you purchase the books also, like level 1, level 2, level 3 question answers books or any other study guide questions, all those questions are only for example purpose. You can slightly modify and create your own versions and you can use, but don't copy and paste the same questions in the examinations. And all questions and answers should be reference to a recognized source, meaning if someone come and ask what is the answer for these, or from where you took this question, so if they want to read more, so you need to show the reference book, meaning you need to refer to some books, and based on that content you need to draft these questions. Don't just create questions based on your own personal experience. For example, if you see the calculation like 3 plus 5, if you see any book, 3 plus 5 is 8, but you have some calculations in your mind, so you say like 3 plus 5 is 22. This is your answer. Totally wrong. If I ask you, you are showing some other books and trying to prove that 3 plus 5 is 22, but that is a wrong concept. So you need to refer to the books, wherever books. If I go to the book A, book B, C, everywhere, so I'm getting the same information. So that is what they're saying, like recognized source. It should be a valid information. And even your AS&T basic examination also, every question they'll give the reference. Like for example, if they ask one question from acoustic emission, so if you check, maybe they took from a handbook or maybe some other books, so they will put a reference like this particular book, page number 312. So there you can get answer, something like they have a database. Okay, so these are the sample questions for level 1 and level 2. So especially, so they given 3 questions for level 1 and 3 questions for level 2. Just read them as example purpose to get an idea of a difficulty level. Don't copy and paste the same questions. An entity level 3 should be responsible for the administration and grading of examinations specified in section 8.3 to 8.8 for level 1, level 2 or level 3 personnel. So what they're trying to say here, whatever the examinations you are conducting for level 1 and level 2. So what exams we are conducting for level 1 and level 2? Basically we are conducting 3 examinations. So one is a general exam, second one is a specific exam, third one is a practical examination. But how about level 3 candidate? So we are conducting 3 examinations. One is basic, then method, then one more is a specific. For example, now you are going for AS&T basic examination. Suppose if I took this AS&T basic exam, so I am not, if I pass, I am not getting the certificate. What I need to do, I need to choose one more method. For example, I took MT method examination, MT level 3 method exam, so I pass. So what happens, if I pass basic and one method, I'll get my certificate. So I'll get AS&T cert. Then I will be called as AS&T certified level 3. But how about specific exam? Specific exam usually the company based exam. So you, when you join an entity company or any client side company, so that company will conduct an examination to the level 3 candidate. That is what we call as a specific exam. This is nothing but specific to the employer's requirements. For example, if I join Airbus company, so they will conduct an examination based on aerospace related procedures. If I joined a shipyard company, so they may conduct an examination based on shipyard standards or AWSD 1.1. So depending on the requirements, they will conduct the test. Okay, that is what a specific examination. So whatever these examination, level 1, level 2 or level 3, who is responsible for conducting? Administration means who is responsible for arranging all these examination and also arranging for grading. So everything is the responsibility of level 3. Recommended to be, should means recommended. Level 3 is recommended to be responsible for administration and grading. You can see the title, administration and grading. Entire responsibility is in the hands of level 3. For example, if he is not available, then he can delegate to other person. But most of the time, if you see NDT companies, even if he is on leave also, he used to handle everything. So the entire administration and grading is in the hands of level 3. And if you see in section 8.3 to 8.8, that is nothing but general exam, specific exam, practical exam for level 1 and level 2, and also basic method and specific exam for level 3 candidate. Okay. So the administration and grading of examinations may be delegated to a qualified representative of the NDT level 3 and so recorded. Just now we mentioned, right? Administration and grading is completely the responsibility of level 3. But sometime level 3 got some urgent work, or maybe he is very busy with other new project. So he is not available. Then how? So may be delegated to a qualified representative, meaning on behalf of level 3, someone can assist him, someone can proxy, like he is not available. So on behalf of level 3, someone can work, take the responsibilities of level 3. For example, HR is there. So if I ask HR to conduct this examination, she will conduct, but I need to give a clear instructions to her. For example, if it is online examination, so I'll just show to her for 5-10 minutes. So I will give all the links, everything. So then she will conduct the examination easily. Because the technician is normally not have a good interaction with the HR. So most of the time the technicians resides in the dormitories or any hostels, all these things. So they may not have a chance to directly meet the HRs. So they may not develop any good relations with the HRs, right? Most of the time the managers, HRs, all they'll keep the technicians aside. They don't interact closely. So in that case, they can maintain the relation, like the distance. So they will treat like a examiner and student kind of thing. But if the same lady, if she conduct the examination for a manager, for any like owners or managers or any close relatives of the owner, if she conduct, then there is a chance of partiality will come into picture. She will try to do some favor to the manager. She will try to help him to pass the examination. So that's why you need to check. So who is the right fit to conduct the examination? You need to ensure the impartiality. So impartiality means they should not bias to the technician. So that's why when you are using any one person, so you need to double check whether they can conduct the examination in a strict manner or not. Or otherwise, sometimes you can just ensure the CCTV. So you are not available, but your HR will assist to conduct the examination. So you can watch it live. So sometimes you can do that. That's why after the incidents with the NDT International, so the BINDT implemented this. Like sometimes they monitor the CCTV footage. Even when you took the exam with the PSMU test center, so they will collect that this CCTV footage and they will check. Even when you take the exam, right, the footage will go to the ASNT. So it will record it in the cloud and they will check before releasing your certificate. They'll check all these things because the impartiality issues. Okay, so you can delegate a qualified representative of the employer. Like here what they're trying to say, wherever level 3 is absent, so level 3 is not was available, then he can assign some of his representative. That is why they call as a qualified representative of level 3. So basically if you think like level 3, what examinations he will conduct? Basically he will conduct level 1 exams and level 2 examinations. But if you want to conduct examinations for level 3 candidate, so who will conduct? So your employer is responsible. The employer will bring an external level 3 or employer will use HR, because you see here basic method, specific exam. These are all like multiple choice question type. So you can use any one. For example, you want to conduct in-house level 3 examination. So your employer can use HR, or your employer can use a document controller, or your employer can bring an external level 3 to conduct in-house level 3 examinations. So that's why when you are dealing with the level 3 examinations, so your employer is responsible. That's why if your employer is not available, then he can use any of his representative. But when it comes to level 1 and level 2, so your level 3 is responsible. So if level 3 is not available, then level 3 can use HR or any other person. So very simple, you have two concepts here. One is level 3 and one more guy is employer. So level 3 is handling level 1 and level 2 technicians and their examinations, but employer is handling level 3 candidate. So that's why level 3 examinations, usually the responsibilities lies with employer. If employer is not available, then he can use his qualified representative. Okay, so that is the meaning of here. So that's why here they clearly saying qualified representative of the employer, but above line qualified representative of the level 3. Representative nothing but like a leader. Like if you see the labor meetings, all these things like labor law, like a what we call the groups, unions, labor unions, all these things, like not everyone required to do a protest. So on behalf of the group, one leader will go and talk to the management. So like on behalf of level 3, so someone is doing this. That is what kind of a representative. So you can see level 3 examination basic is nothing but MCQ type, and method exam also MCQ, and specific exam also MCQ. There is no practical required. Why? Because level 3 candidate is already an experienced level 2. That's why we are not required to conduct any practical exam with ASNT examinations. That's why you are not required to take any practical examination. Okay, but if you see ISO 9712, so they need to go for a procedure writing and also need to go for practical. So that is a slight variation with your SNTTC one. The next one, so you, for example, you chosen your HR as a qualified representative. So what are the things that you need to do? So to be designated as a qualified representative of level 3, so you want to take an annual leave, maybe you are not available for 1 month, so you want to prepare your HR as your proxy. So nothing but she is your qualified representative, so she need to conduct the examination for level 1 and level 2. So the designee should have a documented appropriate instruction by the level 3. So before you are taking the leave, so you need to train her how to conduct the examination, how to handle the examinations. Otherwise what happens, so when you left to your hometown, then your boss will call, so who is conducting the examination? When you say HR, she say I don't know anything, so he never informed me anything, so she may complain against you. So that's why what you need to do, so in your absence, if you want to utilize someone, try to keep the documentation. So try to give a training, try to send an email saying that okay, today I'm going to brief you all these things, I'll give all the instructions, so that in my absence you can conduct all these examinations. And sometime you can put a CC to your boss also, so you can put all these as a documentary evidence, so that in future if something went wrong, so you can show all these evidences that particular day I'm not available, so my HR only conduct the examination, I don't know how come this guy passed the test. So something like you can check the CCTV footage or you can keep all the documentation. So that's why if you want to use any other person, so you need to maintain the documentation, and also you need to give a clear instructions. So when to start the examination, how to evaluate, what is the passing grade requirement, because she don't know anything about written practice requirement. So you must tell her how to evaluate the papers. Or if you are using a software, very simple. So the software automatically will give the report. But if she need to do something manually, then you need to give a clear instructions. So something like this HR, so if you are not available, you can train her so that she will treat the same way as you do, right? So additionally, the practical exam should be administered by a person certified in the applicable entity method level 2 or level 3. So what they're trying to say here, when you are dealing with a level 1 exam or level 2 examination, so basically you have three things. So one is a general exam, specific exam. So general and specific both are MCQ type. So you can use either HR or anyone you can use. As long as you train them, they can conduct the examination. That's why what they're trying to say here, when you are dealing with level 1 and level 2, both general and specific are we call as a written examinations. So anyone can easily handle. But when it comes to practical examination, so practical examination, the examiner must be level 2 or level 3 only, recommended to be. But if you see in CP 189, they'll clearly say the practical examiner must be level 3 only. But here your examiner can be a level 2 or level 3. Why? Because in the practical exam you need to check everything, whether she following the procedure correctly or not, whether she picked the defect or not, the data is correct or not, and sometimes you need to do interview also. So you need to check whether they know the acceptance criteria or not. So all these things and reporting skills, everything you need to check with the help of 10-point checklist. That's why when it comes to the practical examination, so the examiner must be level 2 or level 3. Recommended to be level 2 or level 3. So either level 2 or level 3 only, because this is like a technical examination. But if you see general exam specific, it's like a multiple choice question. Even the software also will do. You just give a simple instruction to the HR. But when it comes to the practical exam, so you must use a checklist. Same like if you go for a driving test, so your instructor will check all the blind spots, everything, and he will assess. So if you do a proper driving, then you pass. Otherwise, he will call for a re-exam. Okay, so you can see it. So you need to check everything very clearly. For example, instead of using a wet dampened cloth or wet tissue, so if she spray directly on the part, then confirm fail. But if you use HR, so HR thinks okay, she is doing a very nice cleaning, so she don't know, she will make him pass. So that's why when you keep the practically experienced guy nothing but level 2 or level 3, so they can control all those points. Next, all level 1, level 2, level 3 written examinations should be closed book. So what are the written examinations? General, specific and practical, and basic, method, specific. So this is for level 3 and these are for level 1 and level 2, right? So if you see here, general and specific both are MCQ type, and this basic, method, specific, all these three are MCQ type. So you have MCQ means this one we call as a written examination. Only the difference is like this early practical examination. Practical only different. Rest of all is only written examinations. All these examinations are closed book. Same like your multiple choice questions. Same like your ASNT examination, closed book. Maybe in the examination they will give the booklet, everything. You will refer to the formulae and other tables, everything, but you will not get answer directly. So that is what we call as a closed book examination. Sometimes they'll give dictionary, sometimes they'll give procedure, sometimes they'll give formulae, but you will not get answer directly. You must use your brain to get a correct answer. That is what we call as a closed book examination. So here they clearly mention questions utilizing such reference should require an understanding of the information only, so you will not get answer directly. So this one also they will ask one question: what is the meaning of closed book examination? Okay. Then next, for NDT level 1 and level 2 personnel, composite grade should be determined by averaging of the results of the general, specific and practical examination described below. Best example, if you take out your high school mark sheet or maybe BTech mark sheet, they'll give the score, right? So like maths, physics, then Hindi, English, like Tamil. So you have all these subjects, right? They will show you the aggregate or nothing but average score. So here also, when you are dealing with the level 1 and level 2, you have three examinations. One is general, second one is a specific, and the third one is a practical. So you need to take average also. So what is the average requirement? Is average requirement is a 80 percentage, but individual is a 70 percentage. But last time general minimum requirement is a 70 percentage and a specific is a 70 percentage. If you refer to the old editions, the practical also 70 percentage, but in 2020 edition they changed this. They're giving importance to the practical, and practical is the minimum requirement is 80 percentage. So that is why I shown here blue color. So the basic the passing examination requirement for practical examination is 80 percentage. So this is the one. General minimum 70 required, specific minimum 70 percentage. Practical last time the old editions like 2011, 2016 edition everywhere is a 70 percentage, but now 2020 onwards, so the practical exam minimum requirement is 80 percentage. Then average also you need to get 80 percentage, but how you will get? For example, here I get 80, here I get 80, then this one also 80, then average I will get 80. For example, here practical I got 100, so here I got only 70, here also I got 70, so I can 80, pass. For example, general I got 69, specific I got 100, practical I got 100, so average maybe 95 plus, but fail. Why? Because so you are not meeting the requirements of minimum 17. Okay, sometimes maybe you will get, like for example, 89 and this one is a 99, but here you got 79, maybe average you got 89, for example, fail, because practical minimum requirement is 80 percentage, so fail. So the idea is very simple. Either you need to prove yourself you are very good in practical or very good in theory. At the same time, you need to cover the minimum score requirements of 70% for written examinations, 80% for practical examination. In the exam, they'll ask 1 or 2 questions on these calculations. They will say, like they'll give a paper. So you got 14 out of 20 questions, and you got a 15 out of 30, and you got a 20 out of 20. So 20 out of 20 is nothing but 100 percentage. 15 out of 30 questions is nothing but 50 percentage, and 14 of 20 is nothing but 70 percentage. So you need to write all these things, like general exam, what is the score, specific exam, what is the score, practical is what is, and average is how much. So you need to take all these things and you need to check with this criteria: 70, 70, 80, and average 80. Then level 2 also same, 70, 70, 80, and 80, same. Then how about level 3 candidate? So for NDT level 3 personnel, the composite grade should be determined by simple averaging of the results of basic, method, and specific examination. All these three are written examinations. There is no practical, so there is no concept of 80% here. Individual score requirement is 70, 70, 70. Average is 80 percentage. You can see here, basic is a written examination, method is a written examination, specific is a written examination. So average minimum score is 70%, 70%, 70, but average should always be 80 percentage. Clear? So only the difference between level 1 and level 2, level 3 is practical. Practical is not a written examination, so that's why. So the practical examination minimum score requirement is 80 percentage. Remaining all other examinations, minimum score requirement is only 70 percentage. Whether you are going for level 1 or level 2 or level 3, the composite score requirement is always 80 percentage. Okay, clear? Then when an examination is administered and graded for the employer by an outside agency, and the outside agency issues a grades of pass or fail on a certified report, then the employer may accept the pass grade as a 80 percentage. So what they're trying to say here, for example, your company don't have a level 3, so then what you did, so you bring an external level 3 from other company, or you send your technicians to other outside agency, so they conduct the examination, but they just given the certificate. For example, now you see right ASNT certificate, so you become ASNT level 3, but there is no score report, so you are saying already qualified level 3. So how I can take the scores? So for example, if I taking basic, method, specific, because I'm talking about level 3 examinations, so basic, for example, if I put 80 percentage, method also I put roughly 80 percentage, specific also I put 80 percentage, then average become 80 percentage. So what happens? You met minimum requirement of 70, 70 required, you got 80, 70 required, you got 80, 80 required, you got 80, so pass. Same thing applies with the level 1, level 2 also. So general, specific, practical. So general I got 80, specific also I got 80, practical also get 80, so average also 80, so pass. General minimum 70 rated, so pass, pass. This one also pass, average also pass. But when you put everything 80, 80, 80, so the client, when he see the report, when he see the certificate, he will get a confusion. He may ask, how come your technician got everywhere 80 percentage? How exactly everyone is getting 80, 80? So it may be representing like something like a malpractice kind of thing. So if he say something, then you can show your recent TC1A and you can clearly mention that they took the examinations from an outside agency. So the outside external level 3 conducted all these examinations, but he is refusing to give the report. So that's why SNTTC1A is allowing that we can put 80 percentage. As long as if they pass, then we can put 80 percentage and we can issue our in-house certificate. Best example, if you recruit a technician with ISO 9712 or any other similar level 2 certificate. So if you ask the mark sheet, everything, so they are not giving. But what you can do, you can verify from the website and you can take a copy of his certificate. Then you can issue in-house by stating everywhere 80, 80, 80, average also 80%. Then you can issue in-house certificate. So your level 3 either can visit your company, so he will just issue the certificate either pass or fail. In that case, so everywhere you can put 80 percentage, so that individual exams meet the requirements of 80%, 70 percentage, and average also meets the requirement of 80 percentage. You can see here, so level 1, level 2, level 3, so everywhere put 80, 80, 80, so everyone pass. But when we use like this, so the client definitely will catch that point. How come your technician getting, everyone is getting 80 percentage? So it may give a impression of fake certification. So the next one, the employer who purchases outside services is responsible for ensuring that the examination services meet the requirements of employer's written practice, or we can say employer needs. For example, you are the employer, so in your company you have an air conditioner, so air condition that AC is got some issue, like it's not working properly, so you want to bring some electrician, so that is your requirement, but you don't want to spend money. So in that case, what you will do, so you will check your friends or your close contacts, all these things. So one of your friend told, right, he is having a plumber, but he knows something about air conditioner related things, right? So in that case, what you do, so you want to save money, you will call that guy, but this plumber will come and he will do the electrical work. So then you can imagine the quality of the work. He may spoil your AC because he don't know anything about electrically, so he just manages small things, but your problem is a very big one. So that's why sometimes, like, if you bring like a totally non-relevant person, then he will spoil the system. So if you need, for example, PT level 3, but the trainer is RT level 3, he don't know anything about penetrant testing, then how he can teach the classes? So that's why what they're trying to say here, like when you need someone, you need to check what is exactly you needed, then you need to bring only that particular level 3, and you need to ensure that level 3 is fulfilling your requirements. For example, you are a pure vegetarian, so if you went any restaurant, so you need to ensure that you are getting only vegetarian food, right? Even though if they give complimentary, if they give non-vegetarian food, other thing, but you are not taking it because you are a pure vegetarian. The similar concept you can apply here. If you need ET level 3, you must bring only that particular person. You need to assess whether he is fulfilling my certification needs or not. Don't use anyone just blindly. But most of the time, employees, what they do, they'll always go for the shortcuts. They just want to save money. They'll bring some fake level 3s, or maybe they'll just give some money and they'll get the certificate. So they'll always try to encourage that kind of fake activities because they want to save time and they want to save money. So the ultimate beneficiary is always this guy, employer, not a level 3. For example, if your company level 3 is only holding RT level 3 certification, but you got a big project for UT level 3, like you got a POT project, so your technicians need to be trained and certified in POT. So this guy don't know anything about UT and anything about POT. So in that case, he will recommend, yes, I know one UT level 3 is a very good, but he will charge. Then immediately employer will say, no need to bring anyone, I'll bring one level 3. So who is holding empty level 3? So what happens, this guy is empty, bring empty level 3, he will conduct a UT course and he will issue UT level 2 certificate because this guy is a fake level 3 or maybe cheaper. So he may encourage like some shortcuts, or maybe this guy last time worked together, close partners, right? So sometime what happens, like they may end up with some fake certifications. So that's why, So we cannot believe this employer always. So when he deal when but if you see the statement here, they clearly saying your employer is responsible to bring an external level 3 because your company do not have that particular method level 3 candidate. Okay, it's employer responsibility. So most of the time you can bring them to your company or you can send them to their company. So in no case shall an examination be administered by oneself or by a subordinate. So like for example, you are conducting the examination to your manager. So you are a level 3, you are conducting the examination to your next manager or maybe your boss sitting for the examination. Even though your boss sitting for the examination, when it comes to exam, so you are the examiner. So you must handle it like examiner. So you try to give the impartiality. Like you should not bias to your boss. So you need to give paper and you are not allow him to select the specimen or select the easy paper, and you should not bias with him. So that is what they're saying. So the examination should not be administered by oneself or by subordinate. Subordinate means like your helper should not conduct an examination to you. For example, best example, like your boss need to take the exam. If you put a HR as a examiner, what happens? So HR usually very close to the boss, so she will always try to help the boss and he can pass the exam easily. So if your boss taking the examination, don't put his PA as examiner because PA is working under him. So definitely she follow his instructions. So that's what the meaning of subordinate. They used to ask one question on this. So when it come to examination, so whether he is your boss or higher official, so you need to treat like an examination. You must follow the protocols and you must screw him in the examination. Because most of the time they'll try to find out some shortcuts. He'll try to convince you to pass the examination. But you need to conduct in an ethical manner and professional manner. Yeah.